some challenges that you'll get, but I'm sure you'll come out with something very, very tangible and very, very nice. So I'm looking forward to meeting you, even when you'll be pitching your products or whatever prototype you have made. And just be encouraged, keep strong, keep moving. I think the main thing is to focus. Keep your eye on the goal. What is it that you want to develop? Don't deviate. Keep your eye and your focus there, and you will still get there. Don't again be so rigid that you only use one way to get where you want to go. There might be other routes that you may be trying to avoid, and they are maybe the best to use. So thanks, and I look forward to just having a small session with you this evening. First, my apology. I know I was to start at 8, but I was jumping from another meeting from at around 8:15. So thanks for even changing your schedule to allow me to come late. Over to you, Collins.
Okay, I see already 19 people in the call. I believe that's a good number to start. So I'll start by introducing the session, then I'll hand it over back to you. Yeah. So once again, I'd like to thank you for joining. So this is our third session of DeKUT. We started with the opening session and the session on Azure yesterday. Yeah, so I'm Collins Nyegoti, the lead of MLSA DeKUT chapter, the organization that is the community that is organizing this hackathon. And yeah, this today we are honored to have Dr. Akiru, the director of DESIC. Yeah, and he'll be here to share with us the idea to business, how we can ideate a proper project and come up with a prototype and make sure that what the project that you're working on is business worth it. Yeah, so I'll hand it over to Dr. Akiru, our presenter for the day, and he will share his he'll introduce himself and share his expansive knowledge with us. Yeah, so sir, you can take over.
Thank you, Collins. I'm putting my slides on full slide. I hope they're visible and I'm audible, yeah?
Yeah, they're visible and you're audible.
Okay, so my name is Dr. James Wakiru. I'm basically the director of the Startup and Incubation Center here at DeKUT. We call it DESIC. We basically look at idea to business. Basically, that's all we can say. But we are looking at discovery, support, and showcasing. We are trying to see how do we discover innovation. And that discovery is a journey that is followed by all of us, students and staff. And how do you discover innovation? You have, first of all, to understand what innovation is. And then discovery of innovation comes from within. And we will look at some of the ways that you basically can come up with an idea. And that's discovery. So how do we discover? Sometimes you can be doing your own project, like your final year project, and you could discover that as an innovation, and you can develop it further. Or you maybe you've heard of a problem, or you've seen a problem, you've been in a problem, you've seen somebody else in a problem. How do we pick out that problem and come up with a solution to that problem? And that's all the aspect of discovery. And then we move from discovery to support. We have an incubation hub, and we talk with you if you have this kind of innovation that you want to develop, guide you, give you a mentor, guide you to what's coming up with this solution, and even prototype, basically coming up with something that mimics or basically works just like in real life what you commercialize, but this might be in a small scale. And that is what basically everyone would want to see, so that they can see the prototype and actualize and be able to see what is expected at the tail end of the innovation. So we support you to develop that. We support you to basically now move your innovation forward. Sometimes you may be able to pick the innovation requires protection. Then we help you in protecting it. Then we move forward until you get to a point that you basically can go and pitch. And pitching at the end of the whole startup process is basically trying to say, can I pitch for an investor? Can somebody be able to understand my solution and the problem I'm trying to solve and be able to say, yes, I can pay for this solution? So for today, we are not going there. So that's what I do. Basically a mechanical engineer, but I've also done an MBA in marketing and an MSc in industrial engineering and a PhD again in the industrial engineering and maintenance. I'm also been privileged to really do quite a bit of training on entrepreneurship and innovation, right from Belgium and many other places, and also within currently undergoing a course on technology transfer, which is it's spanning until around January. But let's go to what brought us here. To talk about idea to business, but as I talked with your leader, Collins, I do understand that your concept in terms of your DeKUT, you basically want to reach to the level where you have done a prototype that is working, that basically you are showcasing what the real life commercialized product would work. So I will not go towards many other areas, like, for example, coming up with a business model, the company, the pitch deck, the funding. We'll deal with pitch deck later on, I believe, but we won't go that. But will start with just how do we ideate? And I would like to draw ideation from the concept called design thinking, which is really human-centric thinking. So this is the whole startup process. And I was ready to take you through all this, but I think after discussion, we'll just get to the prototype area, because that's where most likely you're supposed to get to. And then later on, another day, we will now talk of how do we pitch this innovation that you have come up with. So let's dive into design thinking. So what is design thinking? It's basically a mindset and approach to problem solving and innovation anchored on human-centered design. So you are looking at solving a problem and developing an innovation, something new, or something that is working differently, but it's around a human-centered design, something that has the human perspective in it. So this differs from other innovation and ideation process because this is solution-based and user-centric rather than just problem solving. You are not just solving a problem, but you're bringing the user into perspective. And that's what really changes everything. If your innovation was really to really thrive and even become a commercialized product, then it must be
Hello?
appealing. Yes?
Yeah, nilikuwa najaribu kuingia but imekataa, hata yangu imekataa but
Hi, is that somebody talking to me or somebody else?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who was speaking. Who was speaking? I see Frank. Frank, you've unmuted. I don't know if you're the one who was saying something. Yeah, you can continue sharing. We'll sort your issue. What were you saying, sir? Frank? I'm not even sure it's Frank.
Okay,
Who
I
was
think
speaking?
somebody was trying to speak to somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm saying we are saying the innovation should be having the user in mind. And that's the main difference that I want you guys to really pick. As you come up with an innovation, a solution, consider the person who's going to use it. Does he require this solution? How is he going to interact with this solution? Is this problem real to this person? So this means then the innovation will focus on the solution to a problem instead of the problem itself. When we talk about research, most of the time research is not geared towards the solution to a problem, but it's geared to the problem itself. You might develop a solution just for you solving that problem, but you are not considering who will use that solution. So that is what I want all of us to come out with. As you look at whatever you're going to design, can you see the person who's going to use it? And that is very, very important, because as you come up with the design, as you come up with how he's going to interact with it, as you come up with the solution or the issues that he's going to address, you have to feel like it is you in this problem and you're using this product that you're developing to solve that problem. And then you ask yourself, am I willing to pay for this kind of solution? Can I pay to get this solution? So in the design thinking process, there are 5 steps. And the first step is empathize. You need to understand your users' needs. I know you guys are coming up with some tech solutions. It is very important not only to think about a tech solution hypothetically, that I just need to develop an app that helps me to contact XYZ. Why? Why is the person requiring that kind of app? Do you know his problems? Do you know what he requires? And that is really understanding the user's needs. Because at the end, that is the person you are to take your product to. He's the one to use the product. So if you don't understand my challenges and the needs that I have, so that you can address those needs with that product, then when you come with your product, I'll say, I don't think I need this. So it's important when developing, and even when judges will be looking at your work, they want to see, is this solution providing a solution to something? Is this innovation giving a solution to a certain need? So you need to understand, what is this need that I'm trying to address? Secondly, you define, you identify now the needs and the problems. I need, for example, if it's a blood app, I want to connect with people in the same blood group that I have. What I need as a patient is blood of blood group B positive. That's my need. But what is the problem? I don't know how to get this blood. I don't know how to get people with this blood group. You can see those two things. What I need is blood. For me, I don't know how. I just need blood. But my problem is not only that blood, is how to get that blood from the people with the same blood group. So when you understand, when you identify the need and the problem that that person is facing, then you are next to ideate now what kind of solution you need. If you just stopped at the need, I need blood, what kind of solution will you give? You just need to give blood. So that's not the real problem. The real problem is, I don't know how to get that blood, the blood of this blood group. From that definition, then you can now ideate. Now you can say, since I don't know how to get the blood group B positive, what solutions, what alternatives can I use? One, I can call my relatives. Two, I can call the other hospitals. Three, I need to know who are the people who have this blood group and how do I get them? So you come up with those potential solutions. I can call my friends, my family. I may want to advertise it in the newspaper or advertise it on radio. Those are alternatives. Then ask yourself, with these potential solutions, can I transform them to a tangible solution? If I was to give this solution to the patients at hospital, which one is tangible? So now you are going to check and evaluate the alternatives, ideas that you have come up with, and come up with what you believe is tangible. And when you believe it's tangible, you should have a basis, reasons why that solution is the best among the other alternatives that you have. Then when you have that, then now you can test the solution. And that's when now you can bring it, see if it's working, test it with a patient, maybe, for example, not really a real life patient, but you can hypothetically do a desktop test and see if the solution is working. And that's basically what it all entails. So design thinking is not something that is straightforward. It requires you to think, rethink, redo some few things, iterate, and so forth. So when you start with design thinking, you have empathy to define the problem. How you may want to learn about users who have tested this. You may want to test what reveals the insights. But then when you have what the users are doing, how do you test and create new ideas? Or you can basically prototype that new idea. So this is telling you it's not something straight. That means it needs iterations. The first phase of design thinking is what we talked about, empathize. And that is gathering information and understanding. Find out exactly the problem. I know maybe some of you have been thinking, how do I come up with a solution that I want to generate? You have, first of all, to look at whatever you are thinking of. Understand who uses that, who requires it. And then you'll find out what is the need of that person. And then what is the problem? Because that will define this kind of solution you are going to give. If I asked you during your pitch, what problem are you solving with this solution? It's very, very important that you'll be able to have identified the need of the person who requires the solution and the problems he's facing, because that is what you are solving. So that underlies the development of the product or service that you want to create. So if you have not come up with a product that you want to create, first, if you think of a certain solution, first go and look at who are these who need it. What are their needs? And then what are the problems they are facing now? And then solve those problems. Sometimes you may want to consult experts in an area of concern. And experts is not a must that you meet them. Some of them have written. You find bulletins, you'll find professional papers talking about some certain kind of technology. And they are talking of this being a problem that needs to be solved. So you don't have to wait and go and meet somebody. You can read even what they have done. You can observe and engage people. Then you're able to internalize their experience. Sometimes the solutions you give are not your problems. In fact, most of the times. So you have to engage with other people listen to what they are going through, understand the challenges they are facing, internalize their problems or their experience, and offer them a solution by what picking that as a problem and then addressing it. So you have to emotionally feel, you like get into their shoes and also psychologically feel what they are going through. And then you'll be able to see what really matters. I remember one student who had to travel very far to come to Dedan Kimathi just to see which hostel he may want to pick. And he just came, then he again traveled back very far. He only came to check on the hostels. And he felt he had used a lot of money. So what happened? His need was, I need a hostel. His problem was, how do I identify and book a hostel meeting my needs or my requirements? That was a problem. So what did he do then? Then he decided, why can't I come up with an app that will help students not to come all the way to check the hostels? The app will showcase everything, the contact person of that hostel, the price, pictures of how the room looks like, even the number, and you can book. So you don't have to come all the way. I hope you understand it. You have a need, then you have the problem. Solve the problem. You need to deeply understand. And that assures that whatever you are coming up with will be successful and innovative. Innovative means that it's going to solve the problem. Understand the consumer needs and their needs. We've talked about them. What do they need to be done? Don't complicate it. It might be as simple as I just need to move from point A to B. That is the need. What are the barriers? Because they might be having some solutions, but they cannot use those solutions. If you're able to understand why they are not using a tuk-tuk, maybe it's because of smoke, then already you are already getting another problem. Okay? If you're able to understand they are not using a bicycle because of safety, already you have another problem. Those are barriers. What about attitudes? Some of them don't want to drive in a tuk-tuk because of maybe, for example, reputation or how will people see me? So they have an attitude that tuk-tuks maybe are for a certain class of people. And you see, that is already shaping the kind of solution you want to give them. Maybe they have an attitude that you need to walk or exercise when moving from point A to B. So that will streamline what kind of solutions do I come up with. If it's a bicycle, we can negotiate that you are doing exercises. Or can I give you roller skates? Maybe that will do more exercise. Or can I give you maybe sneakers? Then you will run. Those are just hypothetical examples. But then also understand their aspirations. What do they really need? Are they looking to get or to attain? So you need to unlock new solutions. Look at the areas that people have not identified, the white spaces no one has covered, and uncover some emerging opportunities that you can find in the problems and the issues that he's facing. How do you empathize? You can have a map. I visit somebody and you say, he said X, Y, Z. He thought we could do this. He felt this is not okay. And then he said or he did X, Y, Z. With this, you can be able to know this is appealing to what he's thinking already. So you're thinking, then you are verbalizing it, and then feeling it, and then you do it. So you're able to see exactly what is the consumer needs in the situation that he or she is in. Now, we have identified. Now you need to state those who are just going around understanding the problem, but now bring it down and organize it. State his needs and the problems. And then you need to organize and analyze. What are these needs? Because there might be several needs. There might be several problems. So you need really to analyze them in a way that you can understand the core problem. There are many problems, but which one is the core? I usually call it that the root cause. And if you address that root cause, then you address the problem. So defining the problem and the problem system must be done human-centered. You fit into their shoes and to give a solution. Human-centeredness means that you feel like they are feeling. And then this will assist the team in collecting great ideas to establish now, without problems. I'll come up with ideas on the features that I will include in my solution that will address the problem. The functionalities, how my gadget, how my innovation will work in addressing the problems. What are the features? Features are unique characteristics of an item. What will I add to address the problems? And of course, you can bring in other elements that will allow users to resolve issues themselves without difficulty. You don't want to develop something that you have to be there so that you can help the user to use it. The user should use it easily without a challenge. Phase 3, we have the problem, we have the needs and the problems. Now we ideate and collaborate. Start to look at the problem from different perspectives, because it's not only one idea. You have identified a problem, the core problem. So what are the different ways to solve this problem? Brainstorm. Don't think alone. Maybe you're in a team. After you have this problem now, think together, discuss, ask yourselves questions, come up with solutions. But then also you can look at what is called a worst possible idea. When you are starting the ideation, you're saying we cannot do this. So we are already eliminating some of the ideas. That is the worst possible idea technique. Start with the ideas that you believe you cannot use. Then continue generating as many ideas as possible. Please, when you are looking at a problem, don't come with a preset solution. You need to look around at different alternatives, different options of solving that problem. That's basically an example of ideation. You can have an idea saying that I would like to build an application, but you have to go deeper. Because when you go deeper now, it helps you to understand who uses this, what kind of problem are you solving? By saying, I want to I plan on creating an application that does what? Focuses on hospital communication, providing a platform for patients to book appointments and communicate with doctors. Now, if I just said I want to build an application, you'll just start building an application for what? But if you look at this concept, that the application is used where? In hospital. For what? Communication. Who? The patients want to use it to book appointments and communicate with the doctors. So this helps you so much to really understand the problem. And when you will be given a solution, we need to pick out what is the need is an application. What good or service do you want to make? An application. Who will you sell it to? The hospital. For who to use it? The patients and the doctors. How will you sell it? Now you can start saying, maybe the hospital will buy it. How much will you depend upon and the impact environment? Imagine having that solution. Then the patient doesn't have to always call. He can digitally book his appointments. He can even talk with the doctor in a way that the doctor says, I'll not be available, or if it's an urgent thing, why can't you do this and this before you come for the appointment? Another one is you have to define the target market. In your solution, who are you targeting? You need to know who will be your customer. Who are your competitors? If I'm coming up with a blood app, I'm not the only one in the world with that app. There are others with my competitors. And how are they providing the solution? But then also understand who are the customers for my competitor, because therein lies some of the customers that you'll convert immediately. Then identify your market. Sometimes you come up with something that might not appeal to a certain class of customers. Then you may need to position your product to a certain market. Come up with a value proposition. What are the benefits? And in your project, whatever you'll be ideating and coming up with, it will be very, very important for you to show what is the value proposition. What are the benefits to the end user of that product? How is your product solving the customer's problems? And how is it different from the others, from the competitors? That is saying, develop your unique selling proposition. What makes my product unique? If you're coming up with an app, for example, and there are others in the market, first, what is the benefits to your customers that you are keen on? How is my solution going to solve that problem of the customer? And then since there are others also, there are other products similar to mine, why should they buy mine? So how is mine differentiating itself? If you iterate that way and you find there are different areas that you need to improve, then again, look at the idea. You may need to add something to make it unique or to make it more appealing to the customer. Then after that, you've now identified what the customer requires and you've seen how it's unique. Then you start to prototype. You start to create the solution. A prototype is an early model of a product built to test a concept. So you build this prototype and then you can literally test real life problems to see if it's working. So it's something that is not expensive, but is on a scale down. So it is a miniature of what you're going to come up with in full in real life that we are using to investigate the key solutions generated in the ideation phase. These prototypes, of course, can be shared and tested within the team. You can take it to the department. You can use it in small groups. If it's a hospital, you can take it to the nurses and they try it. So while prototyping, which we expect you guys to reach, it's just an experimental phase. And thereby you're able to identify the best possible solution for the problems that you identify. Because if You are saying that the app is supposed to link me as a patient with blood group B plus with people in the, in the street, the community with my same blood type. You'll ask yourself, what questions will you ask, or how will you reach out and pick the people? So prototyping now is actually developing, even if now you wanted an app that is mobile, but you maybe develop a web app to try it out. Of course, later on you can be able to move it to be an app for the mobile and so forth. So by the end of the prototype stage, you as a designer must have the better idea of the product's limitations and problems, so that you may want to iterate again and make sure that those problems have been resolved. So there are 4 types of prototypes. One is low fidelity. This is quick and easy to create. Of course, you can just use paper sketches and wireframes. That's not, I expect, what you come up with. They are high fidelity prototypes. They resemble close to the final product. I also expect maybe you might not come up with this, but they provide more realistic representation. This is where you are looking at the feel, the accuracy, the evaluation of what you expect. Functional prototypes is what I think you may want to get to. They are built with the intention to demonstrate the functionalities of your final product that you'll be making. And that will help you to validate the complex interactions and technical feasibility. Because there are various aspects of interactions that the user will use this solution. So you want to test, what if this increased to this? What if this was not this? So you're able to validate what interactions you need to follow up. Throwaway prototypes, these are solely just for the purpose of exploring ideas. And so you do it and then you discard it. So these are very inexpensive things. So I'm looking forward, most likely, for you guys coming up with functional prototypes. Something that you can use to interact. You can validate the interactions that you expect. You can validate the feasibility technically. Is it sound? Is it providing the solution? Is it providing what you need? That's what I will expect from you guys. Then phase 5, you have the prototype, then try out the solution. You have to rigorously test it. If you're going to showcase your prototype, you don't want to, when you're showcasing, it does not work. When you put a certain figure, it stops working. So you have to test your solution. So this is the way you iterate interactively the solution, and then if there is a problem or something is not adding up, you have to go back to the idea and see what needs to be changed. And then you redefine further the solutions. And the ultimate goal is to get as deep an understanding of that product and its user as possible. And that helps you even to redefine your problem, your solution. Because you might go and find out there's still something I've not picked out. And then that helps you again to redefine it and work the solution again until you find out that it is now meeting the requirements of the users. So empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. That's basically ideation. So this is just something on how do you get ideas? You may get ideas from your experience. You may get ideas from learning from others who have successfully done maybe what you want to do, business, or come up with those apps or whatever you want to develop. You may brainstorm, we talked about it, and you can scan the environment, see what problems people are facing, and see what solution you can provide. You can also survey your local business area. If you are a business person, you will see people are going very far to get a certain product. You identify that as an idea. And then, so you come up with a way of stocking that product. You have become innovative because you are providing something closer to the customer. Then you can select the idea with many ways. Sometimes you can have a structured way. You can look at, with gut feeling sometimes. You can do what is called SWOT analysis. Look at the solution, what is its strength, its weakness, its opportunities, threats, especially looking at also the competition. But also you can use proof of concept. Take the product to a way that you can see how it solves real life problems and how you can apply it in real life. Is the solution the idea proposes feasible or not? You are proving the concept that you're coming up with. And then lastly, you can basically now select your final idea among all the others. Does it fit with the people's needs? And is there a demand for it? If I was to produce it, will I be able to sell it to many people? Does it meet the goals set initially? Remember the need and the problem, and then you decided what solutions? Is this idea basically now addressing those? Does it meet the requirements in your problem statement? The problem that you identified, does it answer how might we, the questions, in a satisfying way? How might we solve this problem? How might we ensure the patient gets the blood? Is it different enough from what exists to add additional value? Or is it that someone will say, this is something that has been done? So you need to really research. But do you know in innovations, you can get something very different, a very small thing that is different from the others. And that makes the whole difference in your innovation. Maybe the how a certain product is able to do something is your innovation. Maybe it's the actual whole product that you're coming up with as an innovation. So don't think of an innovation as something that is created in the moon. It has never been created again. No. What is it that is so new that no one has ever thought of in the world that you're thinking of? Most of the times, everything that we want to do, other people have done it. But there is something unique we can have in what you're doing. Is it different enough from what exists to add additional value? That's a very important thing. Do we have access to the budget enough to implement, even if it's partially, just one phase, so that we can start saying we have a proof of concept? And then what about the technology you want to use? Is it available, or you are the first one to think about it? Because technology takes time. You don't want to ideate something that will take ages, yet you want it for in the next 2 weeks or 1 week. Will we be able to roll it out with available resources? And for me, guys, I know you are doing this for a hackathon, but I would want to challenge you. Can you think of the solution you're coming up with, if we can develop it to even becoming a business for you with the small resources that are available? And then whatever I'm coming up with, can I get an approval from the decision makers, the guys who need to use it? If I go and ask them, I'm coming up with this, and this is how it looks like. Do you think you can buy? Do you think you need it? Can I get that kind of approval? Then, of course, you can, later on, you can define this, which this is not what you're doing right now, but you can use market research. Of course, that's identifying the need analysis. And the market research also can become a technical research on the solution. So you have to do a need analysis. Business plan we won't do now, for now. But you can look at the resources because you guys are looking ahead to even having a team. You have a team. But issues of sales we won't touch now, but product and concept validation, very important before now you do the prototyping. So you can get that idea, refine it, as we said, you can iterate, change based on the goals that you're after, and then come up again with a new solution, improved solution until you are satisfied that this is now what meets the customer requirements. And of course, now you can look at the market with that solution. Who are the customers? But I've said, I think I will not go to the market and the opportunity today. I think from my discussion with the colleagues, you need to get to the prototype for now. But in the meantime, beyond the prototype now, we need to look at the market and go towards other aspects like the business model, Canva, the business plan itself, or forecasting, and so forth and so forth. So that one I will not show, but I can share the slides with you about the market side. I'll end there, and I'm here for any questions. Over to you, Collins.
Yeah, thanks for that. It has been very informative. Personally, I've learned a lot from the session. Yeah. So any questions for Dr. Akiru of the session so far? If you have a question, you can raise your hand. Yeah, I see the applause from Jamie. Yeah, you can also upload Dr. Akiru. Yes, that has been a very good session. Yeah, thanks. Any questions? Maybe a part you need clarification, a part you didn't understand well. Okay, it seems that there are no questions. Since there are no questions, Dr. Akiru, can you take this time to share about the I2B happening this weekend? Maybe someone might be interested to attend and maybe get to know more. Yeah. And how can people register to attend?
Wow. Thanks, Collins. I think we had opened the registration for quite some time, more than a month. So the I2B is happening on Friday. So we join up at around 5:30, from 5:30, where we'll be at Satima, the auditorium. Satima, the open lobby. So we join there. We will have registrations first. Then we have our VC and the DVC will be giving a keynote speech in terms of opening. After their speech, we will have a dinner together and then come back and start. It's basically like a hackathon, but not a hackathon as per se, because we want to go through the startup process. And one of the things is what I've taken you through. Though we'll have more meat on the same, but I'll take through everyone about design thinking and the prototyping. But we will have other sessions being led by other facilitators from within the university and outside on the other steps of developing your idea to a business. So it is a bit advanced from what you are doing because we'll go beyond prototyping. Why? Because this is something that we want every one of our students to understand, that the idea I have, I can work with this idea until I can develop or form a company. So we want to take you through all these steps. And we have very good, in fact, we might be having a professor from the US who will physically take us through sales and marketing. Very nice. And then we have also other facilitators, issues on IP, issues on business planning. So please, if you have not registered, maybe for this cohort that is dealing with the DeKUT hack, we could give you some leeway. If you can reach me through your leader, Collins, maybe see if we can have an opportunity for you guys by tomorrow because of planning purposes. So we will run the whole night. We may have just a few hours of rest. Wake up in the morning after breakfast, we do the pitching, and then before 12, we'll have the judges analyze, giving us comments, and we'll be good to go home at 12 or before 12. It's a good thing to sacrifice. People have sacrificed. We are not going to sleep. Our faculty members and people from the industry who are coming, they'll be with us throughout, and they are sacrificing. So for you, free of charge, you also get some food. I'm not saying that you come because of food. I think come to learn. And you can be able to now develop even what you have come up with here in future, you can develop into a business. So please, if you have not registered, feel free. However, if you had registered, we had sent a link to confirm because we realized there's quite a number of people who are not around. But you'll be shocked, we still have a confirmation of over 100 people who still wants to come. So we had a very big registration, but I think people have gone home. But the people who have confirmed they will be there after we told them again to confirm, we have more than 100 already. So please, we'll be happy to be with you just a night, and then we can rest and get a lot of ideas. So feel free. If you have not registered, you can pass through Collins, and then I can get that and I can ask my team to at least accept you guys. And then if you have registered, you can go back. There's a link I shared with all the people who had registered to confirm that they'll be coming.
Yeah, I have shared the poster in the WhatsApp group. So if you are interested in attending and you have not registered, kindly reach out to me by the end of tonight. So I'll forward the names to Dr. Akiru tomorrow for planning purposes. By the end of tonight, please reach out for planning purposes. Yeah, thanks for that, Dr. Akiru. Yeah, and we also have a notebook to offer. So I don't know which criteria we have to find who will be taking it. So, okay, there was no one with a question. So, because there was no one with a question, I guess we should be the one asking a question. So, yeah. I see Frank has raised his hand.
We could have given it to you, Collins, because you're the only one who was talking.
Yeah, okay, Frank, you've raised your hand. So, yeah, you can unmute and ask your question.
I was asking, where can I find you, Collins, in terms of your details, as in a number to contact you, WhatsApp, or
Are
something?
you in the DeKUT WhatsApp group?
No.
Okay. Let me share my number in the chat. So you can just DM me. My number is 0736 257 293. I've typed it in the chat. That's my number. You can WhatsApp me. You can WhatsApp me your details if you're interested in attending the I2B Innovation Weekend. Yeah.
Okay, can you repeat your number?
Oh, the numbers. Oh,
Yeah.
0736 257 293.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. There's another hand up. It was David Mwangi. Or I see I don't know if it's the same Frank or there are two Franks who have raised I don't know if it's the same person. If it's the same person, you can put your hand down. Peter Washira, you've raised your hand. Is it a question? You can unmute and share. Because we have 1 minute remaining. The session was to go until 9:20.
Yes, thank you. Um, I had a question to Dr. Akiru. There has been a conversation going on that creating an app, maybe it's not necessarily an innovation, that it should be maybe to scale. For example, you had come up with another idea, you just want to scale it up. So I wanted your take on this. Do you think like creating an app, is it really some part of innovation? Or I should create an app when I have something already going on and I just want to scale it up?
Okay, I think creating an app is not an innovation, but what solution you are giving through that app is what should be an innovation. Is that problem, has somebody else solved that problem? If yes, but maybe you want to solve it in a different way. That's what an innovation would be. So you may be coming up with something new or a different way of solving it. Now, as you say, if you need to have something that is going on, not necessarily, but still it's okay. You can be doing something else going on as you develop it. But you can even start from zero and start developing that solution. So I hope I've understood. I answered the second part because I did understand the second part very well. But in a nutshell, the app itself is not as an innovation, but how that app solves the problem. Is it a unique way or is it a different way? Or basically you're coming up with a new product in a nutshell that solves that problem. Peter, the second part, I didn't get it very well. Maybe you can repeat about having something that is running.
Yes, I think you've answered because it
Okay.
was, yes, I think you've answered everything.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Peter, for that great question. Yeah, I see there's another hand up, David Mwangi. So people wanted an incentive to ask questions. Okay, I see. David Mwangi, you can unmute and share. I don't know if you're speaking, David, because we can't hear you. I'm not sure. Daktari, can you hear David? Because I'm not hearing anything.
No, I can't hear him.
Maybe David, you can type in the chat if you have an issue with your microphone.
I think, Collins, the chat is not enabled.
It's not enabled. Wow.
Yeah, because it's indicating chat isn't available.
I guess it's a permission issue. Let me try and see. But David, you can try again. Maybe it was a network issue. Maybe it can get you now. You can try again as I try to find the settings for that.
I think David is there. David Mwangi.
I don't see where for the permissions for the chat. Okay, I'm not sure we'll get David because I'm not finding where to give him access to type in the chat, and he also can't speak out. So I don't know what we can do. Any suggestions? Or David, did you get my number? You can, if you got my number, you can like uh, text me quickly the question and I'll read it out loud. Yeah. Anyway, because of time, yeah. So Peter Washira will be the winner of our giveaway today, the notebook. So Peter, I don't know if you let me just repeat my number, 0736 257, 293. So Frank was interested in I2B, Peter, the winner of our notebook, and David. David, text me a question. Yeah. So yeah, Peter will reach out. I'll share you the how you get your notebook. Yeah. So let's like wait for a minute for David to send me the question via WhatsApp if he's sending it. Okay, David, you can react if you're sending the question. Maybe we might be waiting and maybe you're not sending anything. As
Or
we
I
wait,
think Collins, he can even text you, then you can give it to me. I'll be able
okay.
to respond.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think that's better. That's better.
Yeah.
So David will reach out to me with your question and I'll share it to Dr. Akiro and get back to you with the response. Yep. So I believe that's everything that was to be covered today. So I'd like to thank you all for joining. I believe it's okay. It's already 9:30 and almost 9:30, and these times maybe some of you might be asleep or wanting to spend quality time with your family or having other tasks, but you chose to be here. So I'd like to thank you for that. I believe the time here it has been fruitful because Dr. Akiro has given us a lot of knowledge that will help us in this hackathon, in your projects, and even in general life as you're trying to come up with a business and a product. Yeah, so thanks for that. And I'd like to also share about the session that we'll be having tomorrow. Tomorrow, same time, 8 to 9, we'll have a session on GitHub Actions. So I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow, same time. It will be a similar session to this, lots of learning. Yeah, hoping to see you so that we can learn and grow together. Yeah. So from my end, that's all. Just like to wish you a good night and happy hacking. We'll meet We'll meet Saturday, October 11th for the awarding ceremony. Yeah. So looking forward to meeting you, interacting with you, and seeing the great solutions that you come up with. Yep. So that's everything from my end. I don't know if Dr. you have any closing remarks.
No, I also wish them all the best in their hacking. I'm looking forward to seeing their solutions. But in case of any issues, I'm still also available. I can be reached out. You can ask Kevin Collins for my numbers. I'm available. Thanks so much. And thanks for the opportunity also to be with you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you. It's been there's no better